Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, it's Cynicalex. And now I usually start my character reviews and first looks by playing them in content at the beginning of the video. I am not doing that today for Sentry because I gotta start off by explaining a few things. So I held off on my Sentry review for as long as I could, right? Like almost a week, because I knew because I know how the community is going to react to Sentry being this powerful. Now, originally, I put him on the tier list in God Light, just under the True Gods. We renamed it from Optimal Gods to True Gods. Anyways, it's not a big deal. Anyways, I didn't put him with the big dogs like Silver Surfer, Odin, Ghost Rider. But he's there. He's there. Upon further testing, he's probably the best character in the game. And a good way of explaining what he's like, what he feels like when you're playing him, it's like a mixture between Jean Grey and Silver Surfer, which is terrifying. The reason why I waited so long to do this, I mean, I had the Epic Quest finished from, like a week ago almost, right? Because when it was around the time that I took that break, I was still playing the game, even though I wasn't uploading content. I finished the Epic Quest. But I was waiting because I was hoping that the developers, that the Marvel Future Fight dev team would improve the rewards in-game and reduce the cost of Sentry so that more players could get access to this character. This character should not only be for mega whales and whales who have recently become free to play and just had a lot of resources stockpiled, like me, right? It should not be, this should not be a 1% character. At least 10, 20, 30% of the player base should be able to access Sentry very quickly. And I say that knowing that in any mobile game, not 100% of the players are hardcore, right? You have maybe 20% of the player base that's really hardcore and that plays all the content, maybe less than 20%. You have another like 30-40% that plays the game, sometimes hardcore and sometimes casual. And then you have the last 20-30% that plays casual, skips days, skips content, etc. So it's not like it should be available to 100% of the, it's not like Sentry, someone this powerful, should just be, boom, readily available to everyone in the game. It's like Silver Surfer, right? He was hard to get, right? You had to play GBR multiple weeks in a row, yada, yada. You had to have all these resources built up, right? It's got to be difficult, right? Like Jean Grey. But it's too difficult. He's too expensive. So I was trying to hold off on the review, but we ran through the rest of the content. I don't have Dakin and Ares built up, and I'm not going to, blow too much more resources doing that just to put off this video by a couple of days. And I want you guys to know how strong Sentry is, because I really still hope, I really still have hope that, and I really do hope that they improve the rewards in the game. Again, when I say improve the rewards of the game, they have to improve the rewards at multiple levels in the game. It's not just World Boss Null. We talked about that, right? And that they reduce his cost. Primarily, I mean, almost exclusively what they need to reduce. The 2500 CCF, the 2500 CCF for completing the Epic Quest is brutal. It is expensive. But if that was the only cost, you actually don't need to use biometrics in the Epic Quest for Sentry. That is one bright spot. That is one thing that I do have to highlight as an improvement over what it could have been. I don't want to make that argument like it could have been worse, but for those of you that don't have bios, you don't have to use any bios I didn't have to use any bios for Sentry. Of course, you need to use bios to rank up the other characters like Bullseye, like Scorpion, of course, but you get to keep those characters. It's not like you're flushing bios down the toilet. It's not like you're burning bios like you do burn bios when you need to get characters up to level 70, right? Jean Grey takes double the normal amount, which is almost 5,000 bios, just from 60 to 70. So characters like Jean Grey and Silver Surfer actually cost close to, I think it's 10,000 or 11,000 bios to get from 0 to 70. So you completely avoid that 10,000 bio cost. So in some ways, Sentry is cheaper, but unfortunately, that 2,500 CCF price tag on top of this garbage is just way too much. So if they had just made his gears free from 20 to 25, or grossly reduced the cost of tier 3 materials and taken away the CCF, and if they put more resources in other game modes, then I would feel much more comfortable doing this review. But I'm going to do this review anyways because you guys need to know just how insane Sentry is. So my build has not changed. I will be, upgrading it as we go along, but I wanted to make this video first to have this piece of evidence here. My build has not changed since I first showed you guys Sentry. He's got 4 6-star energy attack Urus just to give him a little bit of juice. And he's got 1 Odin's Blessing with cooldown so that he can hit the cap. He's almost capped on cooldown. He's not even capped on ignore defense. He's missing 1% ignore defense. This is not a great build. A super expensive character, but not a great build. Okay, I just want to highlight how mediocre the build is for this character, because Although he's more expensive than other characters, even though other characters are cheaper, they cannot function at this high of a level with this build. So that is important to note here. He's got rank 5 type enhancement, which I just got through using these boxes. He's got stage 12 Power of Angry Hulk. And then he still has this obelisk, crit damage, dodge, and 140 proc. He doesn't have guard break immunity. He doesn't have a CTP, okay? I want you to see now with 39,000 energy attack and 60,000 HP, I have very good cards, but they are not crafted, okay? I want you to take a look at how Sentry absolutely destroys PvP. And to show you guys how serious I am about this, I'm going to play my regular matches. I'm not going to just play people randomly. I'm going to play people, and I'm going to show you how he plays. And he's very, very good for PvE, okay? He's very, very good for PvE, but I want to show you how good he is for PvP and how crazy it is. Okay, that was a lot of damage that I just took. How crazy he is for PV. Oh, I can't target. And he's dead. Okay, there we go. I was wondering if this showcase was going to start off bad because they know that I'm filming on YouTube here. But looks like you guys are going to get to see the full show from my man, Sentry. So he's got guard break immunity penetration on his 3rd skill. And he also has guard break immunity penetration on his 5th skill. So those are unlisted effects that basically cause the opponent, even if they have a guard break immunity obelisk, it causes the opponent to head rock. It's Jean Grey's 5th skill. You know Jean Grey's 5th skill? It's that. He has it on 2 skills, his 3rd skill and his 5th skill. And you know what? I also think it's on his 2nd skill as well. It might also be on his 2nd skill. He may have 2 skills that have that ability. I'm not going to fight another... Oh gosh, there's so many of them. I'm not going to fight another Sentry for now because it gets kind of chaotic, but I just want you to see what he's able to do, again, with this crit damage, dodge, 140 proc obelisk. This is not a CTP of regen. It's not a reforged CTP, okay? This is an obelisk, and it's a very pedestrian obelisk. He's got iframe ignore on his 1st skill. So he can completely... Okay, there we go. That Hulk actually got me. Interesting. We're gonna pop this, pop a little bit of this, iframe ignore him, and just take him out. Okay. Did you see the head rock? She was gone. She got erased. We're gonna get out of this real soon. Oh, wow. She actually took him down. Okay, so I made a bit of a mistake there. He's not invincible. He's not invincible. He's not, you know, but... I almost soloed that team with this bare bones build. And again, he's a very expensive character. You're gonna say, I know what you're probably thinking already. He's not worth the cost. He's just one character. For the cost of Sentry, I can build up Silver Surfer and Hulk. And you're right. You're not wrong. But the thing is, in PvP, you only bring 3 characters. So his power level individually does matter, especially because he revives. So you definitely have to take into consideration the fact that he's this strong without a uniform and with the ability to revive, which means that he will get stronger. Ooh. Taken down by a level 60 character, though. Which means that he will get stronger when he gets a uniform, and you also basically have to kill him twice, which only further, you know, creates problems with his build and how strong he is. This is insane. So for reference, for those of you that are wondering, Silver Surfer, if he doesn't have guard break immunity, is very easy to die. Like, it's very easy for him to die, and you can go back to previous videos where I played my Silver Surfer with a CTP of Rage in PvP, and he could maybe win half of his battles. Maybe. But remember, he was doing that, maybe winning half of his battles, with the rest of his build being completely busted. The rest of my Silver Surfer's build was Odin's Blessings, maxed out Uru, all that stuff. This Sentry here is doing this with no build. Like, I can go way further than this build. Each Odin's Blessing of heal adds like 2,000 HP. So I can give him, he's got 60,000 base HP, which translates to 185,000. I could easily put him over 210, 220,000 HP just by throwing on some Odin's Blessings. This is insane, okay? This is absolutely insane. Okay, so you guys saw with, what does he have? 185,000, right? 61,000. Okay, so with this team up, with Colossus and Silver Surfer, okay? This is what he gets. He's got these extra stats. So he's got 61,900. I'm going to give him one. Check this out. I got a bunch here. I'm going to give him one of these. 61,900. Okay, 61,900. Just giving him one. Jumps him up to 63,900. That's 2,000 HP. So he's got 8,000 base HP, which then gets multiplied again when you go into timeline battle. So that 185,000 HP that he had, and again, this is still a build in progress, but that 185,000 is now going to go to what? 191? 191,000. Yep, because it gets multiplied by about 3. So that 8,000 is going to get multiplied to 24. This guy's got a reforged CTP. He's dead. Reforged CTP versus Obelisk. 220,000 HP. Silver Surfer getting absolutely annihilated. Jean Grey. No problem. Completely locked down. I was never worried about his survivability. He's gonna retarget. Look at that, mid-air. Did you see that? It's a really cool animation. It's so dirty how strong he is, but it's a really cool animation. So he rises up, and then if you're behind him, he turns around and just punches you with that Sentry punch. It's a pretty sick tier 3 if you think about it. So I think I've, accurately represented how insanely powerful this guy is in PvP. And now, again, you can say, but it's not autoplay and yada, yada, yada. I know. But I like playing PvP. And I always loved making videos for Silver Surfer and how strong he was when you played him manually. And honestly, I shouldn't have died there. I made a mistake. But honestly, Sentry feels like Silver Surfer does for me. But I'm talking about my Silver Surfer with his fully maxed out build. So in my opinion, Silver Surfer is at least as good as my Sentry with my build is at least as good as my Silver Surfer with a maxed out build. Which means that in my opinion, when my Sentry gets to, if I ever build my Sentry with a max HP, CTP of regen, max PvP build, he's going to outperform Silver Surfer by at least 20-30%. Which, I mean, I already thought Silver Surfer was the best PvP character in the game, period. But now Sentry's going to go 20-30% higher than that. This guy's going to be a problem. I know what you're also going to say. You're going to say, yo, you need to release a video how to counter Sentry. It's not that easy, okay? It's not that easy. So I'll work on it, but don't expect any miracles anytime soon. Hope, I just hope they improve the rewards, because that's really the problem here. But minus 70% all defense down. Minus 50 here. He's bonkers. He's so insanely strong. He's got accumulation. He's got everything. It's going to take too long to show you guys in this video, but just as a reference, with the build that I have now, again, I haven't changed anything on the build. He can almost do stage 1 of null. That's how strong he is. With a regular crit damage 140 proc obelisk, which means if I gave him a 180, a crit damage 180, or a crit damage 200 proc obelisk, he could absolutely do stage 1 of null. Doesn't even need a CTP. There are very few characters in this game who can do null without a CTP, if any, and especially doing it solo, not having to switch, not relying on other characters for damage, etc. Let's take him into a GBR here. It's not the best example of his damage, but let me show you what he can do here in GBR. And I have a team here for him with Phylavel. We're going to see here if I get kicked for having the big whale Sentry. All right, let's check this out. He's really strong. Probably the best character in the game, the best singular character in the game. And so that's really the tough part, for Marvel Future Fight is that they have to power creep characters, and they have to release new characters that are stronger, because that has to be the incentive to play the character and to get the character. But at the same time, it's tough for us. Look how fast he is. I mean, I know it doesn't really matter, but he's so fast. But it's tough for the players because we have such a limited amount of resources, If this game was easier on the resource grind, and if you could grind resources faster, then it wouldn't matter if we were getting new character power creep every month, right? But because it takes months to build up these characters, having them get replaced is brutal, right? Because like if you just finished building Silver Surfer and then Sentry comes out, you feel so bad, right? So Charlie's right now in second place here behind me. You want to try to do 2 cancel 5 cancel 4 for the proc. I'm not doing a very good job of it right now, but there it is. I got stunned. Nice. Okay. There's the proc. Oh, I just died. Oh, okay. He got mind controlled and he killed me. Nice. Fantastic. Okay, well that's good. What a good GBR showcase, getting my character killed. Fantastic. All right, well, whatever. We put down 40 million damage in a minute. We got killed. It's fine. He's busted. He's crazy strong. He may not be the best character for PvE content. He's not going to be the best character for PvE content because of how wide the range is on PvE content, because you have characters like Deadpool who are really, really good for world boss, but basically not good for anything else, like not good for squad battle. I mean, not bad for squad battle, but like 1,000,000 points in squad battle. And you have, you know, barely any score in ABX. And then you have characters like Ghost Rider who are really good for ABX and really good for squad battle, but they're not that good for world boss unless you combine them with other characters. But again, if you don't do any cheese strats in world boss, he's very strong, very, very strong. And to be able to put out that much damage with this obelisk in GBR means that, you know, you multiply that out and you look at his Galactus clears with a rage or with an energy, and his damage just spikes, and it's really, really high. So definitely a PV. I would definitely say he's more PvP focused than PvE focused, but also keep in mind for you ABX guys, he's got all of the abilities. He has silence on his tier 3 skill. He's got burn there on his first skill. Yeah. He also has burn on his second skill. And then he also has paralysis on his 5th skill. So he's got all 3 months covered. Now, there are other characters that have all 3 months covered, like Odin, Moon Knight. You know, this is not a new thing, but it's when you combine everything. He literally has every skill effect in the game besides, like, Reflect. That's basically the only major ability, major effect. Reflect and maybe Fracture. I think he doesn't have Fracture. That's it. And I would not be surprised if he got a Void uniform in the future that gave him Fracture and Reflect. You know, but he literally has everything else. He doesn't have a support buff, I guess, like Mystique. But yeah, he's insanely strong. It's really scary. And it's bittersweet, right? On the one hand, I love Sentry as a character, and it's really cool. This is what I wanted Hyperion to be, and I was so hyped for Hyperion, you know, years ago when we first got him, and then I was so hyped for the Hyperion rework because I really wanted him to become, you know, who he's supposed to be. He's like Marvel Superman, but they never got it right with Hyperion, but they got it right with Sentry, and he feels like an absolute monster. He feels like the absolute unit, but it's just a shame that he has to be attached to all of this negative sentiment surrounding how stingy the rewards are in the game. And then this garbage right here. So I'm not going to be taking his gears above 20. For those of you that are wondering, I'm going to keep them at 20. But again, this build, like I could take the gears to 25. Like there's so much more that his build could grow into, and he's already this strong. Arguably the strongest PvP character on my roster, because I can solo entire teams with him easily and quickly, faster than I can with Silver Surfer. And he's very useful in PvE. Very, very useful in PvE content. So yeah, and if I gave him a CTP of energy, for example, he could still ruckus in PvP, and then he could do null stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 for me, possibly something like that. So insane flexibility and insane damage, super expensive character. Do you need him? No. There's no roster in this game that needs him unless you're a completionist, a collectionist type player. But yeah, it basically just comes down to who you want to get in the game because of the way that Marvel Future Fight is structured. If the rewards were better, I would say rush to get him, but the rewards are not better, so we're sort of in a situation where if you can get him, get him. Otherwise, you know, you have to start budgeting and figuring out in the next couple months, where are you going to spend your CCF? Where are you going to spend your resources? Is it going to be building up Sentry, or is it going to be on Ghost Rider and someone else? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let me know what you guys think of Sentry. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.